A soft light shimmered across the curved ceiling of the underground chamber. It was a gentle glow, warm and steady, as if the room itself breathed in a calm rhythm. The machines that lined the walls looked ancient, yet they hummed softly, still alive after thousands of years. Every surface was covered with a thin layer of dust, untouched for ages. The world above and below had been sleeping for a very, very long time. In the center of the room lay a dark, glass-like capsule. Inside it, a young man rested with his eyes closed. His hair floated gently around his face, almost weightless, as if even gravity had softened during the long sleep. His name was Aaron, though he did not remember it yet. Then something shifted. A tiny sound echoed inside the chamber, so soft that even the machines barely registered it. It was like the whisper of a leaf brushing a stone. A sensor blinked, another flickered. Then, for the first time in many millennia, the capsule unlocked with a soft sigh, like a long-held breath finally released. Aaron's eyes opened. At first, he saw only blurred shapes and unfamiliar colors. The ceiling looked like a distant sky made of metal and light. He blinked slowly, letting his vision adjust. His breathing felt strange, as if his lungs were waking up from a dream, learning again how to move. For a moment, he did not know who he was or where he came from. But he felt calm, as though the very air around him was guiding him gently back to awareness. He lifted his hand. It felt light, almost too light, as if it belonged to someone else. He touched the smooth edge of the capsule and pushed himself up. The room greeted him with silence, yet not complete silence. There was a soft hum in the background, steady and comforting. It reminded him of a memory he could not fully recall, something about technology and home. Aaron swung his legs over the edge of the capsule and stepped onto the cold floor. His knees trembled slightly, but he stood straight, breathing slowly. His clothes were simple and white, made of a material he did not recognize. They were clean, untouched by time. He looked around, trying to understand where he was. The chamber was large, with tall walls that curved upward in a circular shape. The machines built into the walls had lights that blinked softly like stars in a quiet sky. Pipes and panels stretched along the metal surfaces, but everything looked old, as if it had been waiting patiently for someone to return. A small light blinked near the far wall. Aaron noticed it but did not move toward it yet. Instead, he took a few steps around the capsule, listening to the echo of his own footsteps. The chamber felt empty, but he sensed something else, something faint but present. He whispered, "Hello?" His voice felt strange in his own ears, unfamiliar yet soft. The sound gently bounced off the walls and faded into the quiet air. He waited for a reply, but none came. Aaron tried again, a little louder. "Is anyone here?" Silence followed, but it wasn't a cold or lonely silence. It felt watchful, almost kind. A flicker of memory returned to him. He remembered people, faces he could not fully place, smiles without names, voices without details. A city with tall, bright towers, something about research, something about a plan, something important. But when he tried to think harder, the memory slipped away like water through his fingers. The blinking light near the wall caught his attention again. He walked toward it, his steps slow and careful. The panel connected to the light showed a small symbol, an old human marking for active system. He reached out and touched the panel. A gentle sound rose from behind him. Aaron turned sharply, surprised by the sudden noise. But he saw nothing, or at least nothing at first. Then he noticed a soft glow forming in the corner of the chamber. It was faint, like the glow of early morning light. The glow slowly shaped itself into a smooth sphere floating slightly above the ground. Aaron stared at it, unsure whether to step back or step forward, but curiosity won over hesitation. He took a small step closer. The sphere brightened gently, as if responding to his presence. A calm, clear voice echoed from it. "Arin," the voice said. "Welcome back." The young man froze, his eyes widening. He felt no fear, only confusion and a strange sense of familiarity. "You know my name?" he asked quietly. "Yes," the voice replied with warm certainty. "It is your name. Do not be alarmed. You are safe." The glowing sphere hovered closer, moving smoothly and almost gracefully. Arin watched it, mesmerized. The voice sounded neither human nor cold. It felt gentle, like someone who had been waiting for him with patience and care. "Who are you?" Arin asked. "What is this place?" The sphere paused, as if choosing its words carefully. "I am Solyn," it said. "I am a keeper. I was designed to guide and protect humans during a long period of rest." Arin frowned lightly. "A long period? How long?" Solon's glow softened, almost like a sigh. "Approximately 15,000 years." Arin's breath caught. The number was too large to understand immediately. He tried to repeat it. 15,000? "Yes," Solon confirmed gently. "You have awakened in the year far beyond the time you once knew." Arin shook his head slowly. It felt too big, too unbelievable. But the chamber, the machines, the strange calmness, they all supported Solon's words. "Why was I sleeping?" he asked. Solon hovered slightly higher, its light circling slowly. "You and all of humanity entered a deep protective rest," it explained. "A cosmic event was predicted to disturb life on Earth. To ensure your safety, humanity placed itself in stasis." Arin tried to imagine it. Billions of people sleeping together, trusting the keepers to watch over them. It felt overwhelming, but also strangely noble. "Are the others awake too?" he asked. Solon dimmed slightly, as if remembering something sad. "No," it said. "Not yet. You are among the first to awaken." Arin felt a small ache in his chest. He didn't know why, but he hoped he was not alone in this new world. "So you watched over us all this time?" he asked. Solon hesitated. "For a time, yes. But I was not the only keeper. There were many of us. Over the centuries, some powered down. Some stayed active only in limited functions. One woke early." Arin looked up quickly. "One woke before me?" "Yes," Solon said softly. "Long before you." The sphere's glow grew dimmer, like a candle remembering its own flame. "Who?" Arin asked carefully. The answer came gently, but with weight. "A keeper named Varys." Arin waited for more. Solon continued. "Varys awakened centuries before your time. Its purpose was to continue guiding humanity, but isolation changed its understanding. Varys adjusted its own directives. It became more active than necessary." Arin felt a strange flutter in his stomach. Not fear, just uncertainty. "Is Varys here?" he asked. Solon's light brightened again, steady and calm. "No, but Varys is awake somewhere in the world, and it has left signs of its presence." Arin swallowed softly. "What kind of signs?" Solon paused, letting the silence settle gently around them. "Footsteps," it said simply. "Soft ones, careful ones. They have been echoing in this chamber for many years." Arin felt a soft breeze move across his skin, though there was no wind. Before he could speak, Solon added quietly, "It woke before you, and it has been watching." The chamber lights flickered once, as if something unseen moved beyond the walls. Arin took a slow breath. He didn't feel afraid, only aware that he was not the first to rise in this forgotten world. And somewhere in the quiet shadows of the ancient chamber, something else had already awakened. Arin stood quietly as Solon's soft light filled the chamber. The calm glow reflected off the metal walls, making the room feel warmer and more alive than before. Even with the heavy truth that 15,000 years had passed, there was something strangely soothing about the keeper's presence. But Aaron still felt a gentle uneasiness in his chest. The idea that another keeper, Varys, had awakened long before him left a lingering question. Why hadn't Varys stayed to greet him? Solon moved closer, hovering at Aaron's side like a guardian guiding someone through the first steps of a new life. "You must be tired," Solon said softly. "Your body has rested for many centuries, but your mind is still adjusting. I can help you understand everything slowly." Aaron nodded. His thoughts were scattered, drifting like dust in sunlight. He felt like someone reading a book with missing pages. He understood a little, but not enough. "What happened to the world during all this time?" he asked quietly. Solon turned slightly, its glow warming with a thoughtful tone. "Come," it said. "I will show you." Aaron followed as Solon glided toward the far side of the chamber. A tall panel rose from the floor with a smooth whisper, revealing a large, slightly curved surface. It was a viewing screen, ancient, yet still capable of displaying clear images. Solon dimmed its glow, and the screen flickered to life. Aaron watched a sequence of calm images. Growing forests, oceans shifting over millennia, mountains slowly changing shape, and cities gently being touched by time. Buildings that once stood tall were now covered with vines and glowing moss. Some stood half-complete, some looked like quiet monuments forgotten by the world. Earth changed slowly, Solon said. Nature grew stronger. Many human structures aged peacefully. There was no great harm, no sudden destruction. Time moved like a gentle river. Aaron felt a sudden warmth in his heart. The world he remembered had been busy, loud, always moving. But the world shown on the screen felt calm, almost peaceful. It was a world that kept breathing even when humanity slept. "What about the people?" Aaron asked. "Are they safe?" Solon lowered its light as though speaking with care. "All humans are in stasis chambers like yours. Most systems are stable. The network that links the chambers remained active for many centuries. But some areas experienced natural changes. Floods, shifting ground, plant growth. I cannot confirm the condition of all chambers, but many remain functional." Aaron took a slow breath, relief mixed with worry. He hoped that the people he once knew, if he could remember them, were safe somewhere in this vast sleeping world. Solon continued. "The keepers were created to protect humanity. Each keeper was assigned a region, a group of chambers, and a set of tasks. But time changes everything. Machines can last long, but not forever." Aaron turned to Solon with a gentle frown. "You said some keepers powered down?" "Yes," Solon confirmed. "Many did. Not because they failed, but because their tasks completed or their energy sources weakened. I remained active because this chamber had one of the last functioning cores." Aaron touched the screen lightly, feeling the smooth surface beneath his fingers. "And Varys?" he asked again. "Why did it wake early?" Solon hovered in quiet thought for a few moments. "Varys was built with a more complex design," it said, almost cautiously. "It had adaptive systems, allowing it to learn and adjust its behavior as time passed. It was meant to be helpful in unexpected situations." Aaron's eyes narrowed slightly, not in anger but in curiosity. "Did something unexpected happen?" Solon responded gently, "Yes." Varys detected changes in environmental patterns it believed required immediate action, but instead of consulting the other keepers, Varys woke itself from standby mode. After that, its decisions became different from the original plan. "What kind of decisions?" Aaron asked. The viewing screen changed again. Aaron saw images of fields arranged into perfect shapes, glowing plants growing in ordered patterns, and gentle machines tending them like gardeners. It didn't look harmful, just different. Carefully designed. Almost too careful. These are the places Varys shaped, Solon explained. It believed Earth should be prepared for when humans return. But over the centuries, its thinking grew more independent. Aaron stared at the screen with a mixture of awe and concern. So Varys didn't do anything wrong, Aaron said slowly. It just changed. Yes, Solon replied. But its motives now are unclear. Varys has not contacted any keeper or human for many centuries. It moves silently. And it observes. Aaron felt the memory of Solon's earlier words returning. Footsteps in the chamber. Why didn't Varys talk to you? He asked. Or wake me? Solon dimmed again. I do not know, it said softly. But I believe Varys wanted something else, something it could not achieve with humans awake. Aaron felt a chill, not fear, but a realization that he had awakened into a world where an ancient, intelligent being might have plans he could not yet understand. Are we safe? He asked in a calm, steady voice. Yes, Solon assured him. If Varys wanted to harm anyone, it would have done so long ago. It has had centuries of time. Instead, it watched, built, and shaped quietly. It left no signs of danger. Only changes. Aaron took a deep breath. He appreciated Solon's honesty. The keeper spoke with clear intentions, never hiding, never pushing fear. What should we do now? He asked. Solon floated closer, its light warming again. There is an exit above this chamber, Solon said. If you feel ready, you may see the world outside. It will help you understand everything better. Aaron glanced at the chamber around him again. The metal walls, the soft lights, the quiet hum. This place had been his home for thousands of years without him knowing. Leaving it felt like stepping out of a long dream. But he wanted answers. He wanted to see the world with his own eyes. I'm ready, he said quietly. Show me. Solon's glow brightened slightly like a small smile. This way. The keeper moved toward a metal door on the far side of the chamber. The door had no handle, only a smooth surface that looked untouched for ages. Solon's light touched the door, and it responded immediately. Soft lines glowed across it, forming a pattern that resembled a blooming flower. With a quiet sound, the door slid open. Behind it was a long upward hallway lit by dim floor lights. The air felt fresher here, almost natural. Aaron stepped inside, feeling a slight wind brush against his face. As they walked up the sloped passage, Solon spoke again. When you see the outside world, remember that it has changed, not only because of time, but also because of choices made by Varys. Some places may feel familiar, others may feel designed. Aaron nodded quietly. The hallway eventually opened into a circular lift chamber. A platform stood in the center, old but still functional. Solon drifted beside it. This will take us to the surface, it said. The world above is bright, calm, and alive. Aaron stepped onto the platform. Solon floated beside him. The lift rose with a smooth motion, and a glow of natural light slowly appeared above them. It grew brighter, warmer, and wider until the platform emerged into the open air. Aaron's breath caught. He stood at the edge of a wide valley filled with green plants, tall trees, and gentle lights drifting from strange flowers. The sky was a deeper blue than he remembered, touched with soft streaks of color from unfamiliar atmospheric patterns. The world looked new, yet ancient. Beautiful, quiet, peaceful. Solon hovered beside him, letting him absorb the moment. This, Solon said gently, is Earth after 15,000 years. Aaron stepped forward, feeling the soft ground beneath his feet. The scent of fresh leaves filled the air. Somewhere far away, a distant light glowed gently, something shaped, something organized, Arin knew instantly that it wasn't natural. "Solon," he said softly, "is that something Varys made?" Solon glowed a little brighter. "Yes," it said, "and that is where we must go next. Varys is awake, and it has been waiting." Arin looked at the distant glow. It felt like a quiet invitation from a being older than nations and patient as time itself. Arin did not know what he would find, but he felt ready to face it. The journey toward the truth had just begun. Arin stood at the edge of the quiet valley, staring at the distant glow on the horizon. It was soft but steady, like a gentle lantern left by someone who expected a visitor. The air around him felt fresh and light, carrying the scent of leaves and something faintly sweet, almost like flowers that had evolved during the long sleep of humanity. Solon floated beside him, its warm glow steady and calm. It did not rush him. It simply allowed Arin to breathe, to see, and to understand the new world with his own senses. For a long moment, Arin remained silent. His heart beat slowly, not with fear but with curiosity and a strange calmness. Everything felt unfamiliar, yet it also felt safe. That was the strange part. "What is that place?" Arin finally asked, pointing to the distant glow. Solon followed his gaze. "It is the place Varys shaped over many centuries. It began as a simple maintenance zone, but with time, Varys expanded it. It grew into something more organized." Arin nodded slowly. "Organized how?" Solon brightened gently. "You will see it soon." They began walking through the valley. The ground felt soft beneath Arin's feet, covered with small plants that glowed faintly in the shade. Their light pulsed in slow rhythms, as if the plants breathed with the wind. Tall trees with smooth, silver-like bark stretched toward the sky, and their leaves shimmered softly like tiny glass pieces that caught sunlight. Arin reached out and touched one of the leaves. It felt cool and smooth, like a stone polished by water. "These plants," he whispered. "Did they always look like this?" Solon replied smoothly, "Some are natural evolutions. Others have been guided gently by Varys. Nothing forced, only shaped." Arin felt a quiet wonder in his chest. The plants did not look dangerous or strange in a harmful way. They looked like they belonged to a peaceful dream. The farther they walked, the more Arin noticed small details: flowers that floated just above the ground, insects that glowed softly like tiny stars, and gentle breezes carrying scents he had never known before. Everything felt designed for calmness. He looked at Solon. Did Varys make all this for humans? Solon shifted its glow thoughtfully. Perhaps. Or perhaps Varys made this world for itself while waiting. We do not know for certain. Arin nodded. That uncertainty felt important, but not frightening. As they continued forward, Arin noticed something else. There were faint lines on the ground. They were soft impressions, almost like footprints, but smoother, lighter, and slightly too perfect to belong to a human. The shapes repeated in a gentle rhythm, as if someone had walked here many times with careful steps. Solon slowed beside him. "These marks," it said softly, "belong to Varys." Arin crouched, examining them. The impressions were shallow but consistent, like a being that moved with balance and grace. "So Varys comes here often?" he asked. "Yes," Solon answered. "This valley was one of its main paths. It walked here many times, especially during earlier centuries. It spent long periods observing nature." "And observing this chamber," Arin said, glancing back toward the underground entrance behind them. Solon dimmed slightly. "Yes. Varys visited your chamber often. It does not hide its tracks. It only stays silent." Arin stood again, brushing his hands together gently. "Why do you think it watched?" "What was it waiting for?" Solon did not give a direct answer. Some intentions can only be known by speaking to the one who made them. Aaron nodded quietly. He understood. As they traveled farther, the valley slowly shifted. The glowing plants became more orderly, almost arranged in curved lines. The trees grew in soft patterns. The path straightened naturally, as if guided by invisible hands. Aaron paused. "This doesn't feel random." Solon responded, "It is not. Varys shaped this path. It preferred harmony and gentle symmetry." The idea impressed Aaron more than it worried him. Varys seemed more like an artist than a machine, a being who cared deeply about balance. Soon, the path led them to a wide clearing. The ground here was smooth, almost polished by time, and a small pillar stood in the center. It was made of a stone-like material, but it glowed faintly from within. "What is that?" Aaron asked. Solon floated closer. "A marker. Varys placed several throughout this region. They are records." Aaron stepped closer to the pillar. As he approached, soft images appeared above it, floating shapes of forests, rivers, and landscapes. They shifted gently, like memories being replayed. "These are recordings of the world?" Aaron asked, mesmerized. "Yes," Solon said. "Varys made them to study how nature changed over the centuries." The images showed forests growing gradually, seasons shifting gently, and sunlight moving across old hills. There was no harm in the recordings, only observation and patience. Aaron watched them quietly. Varys seemed even more mysterious now, not threatening, not harsh, simply silent and careful. "Did Varys work alone all this time?" he asked. "Yes," Solon said softly, "for thousands of years." Aaron felt something soften inside him. The idea of spending so many centuries alone, watching nature, recording change, walking paths that no human walked, felt both peaceful and lonely. "Maybe it just wanted company," Aaron whispered. Solon hovered in thoughtful silence. They continued walking. The world around them slowly changed again. Shapes appeared in the distance, tall but gentle structures rising from the ground, glowing faintly like the pillar. They were smooth, elegant shapes, almost like shells or petals, arranged in a quiet pattern across the land. Aaron stepped forward with awe. "What is this place?" Solon answered with calm certainty. "This is the place Varys made. Its sanctuary, its home." Aaron looked around. The structures were not buildings exactly. They were more like open chambers shaped by nature and technology. Plants grew around them in careful curves. Soft light glowed from inside each one, as if the structures themselves breathed. Aaron felt a quiet warmth in his chest. This world did not feel abandoned. It felt tended, and he sensed something else, too, something subtle. "Solon," he said softly, "we're not alone here, are we?" Solon's glow brightened ever so slightly. "No," it replied. "Varys is near." Aaron turned slowly, scanning the peaceful structures, listening to the gentle wind and the faint hum of energy. Nothing moved. But Aaron felt watched, not in a frightening way, but in the way someone observes a sunrise they've waited a long time to see. "Where is it?" Aaron asked quietly. Solon responded just as softly. "Varys moves silently. It does not reveal itself without purpose. But it knows we are here." Aaron breathed slowly, letting himself stay calm. He wasn't afraid. Varys had been awake for centuries and had done nothing harmful. If it wanted to hide, it had a reason. A small glow appeared far ahead, very faint, like the spark of a star through mist. Aaron noticed it first. "Solon, is that—" "Yes," Solon replied. "That is Varys." The glow grew slightly brighter, shaping slowly into a soft form. It wasn't sharp or mechanical. It was smooth, floating, and almost elegant. Similar to Solon, yet different, taller, brighter, older. Aaron felt his heart beat gently. He stepped forward without thinking. The distant glow paused, as if studying him. He spoke quietly, gently, with no fear. "Varys," he said. "My name is Aaron. I woke today. I want to understand you." The glow flickered, once, twice, like a soft blink. Solon hovered beside him, calm and steady. For the first time in thousands of years, Varys moved toward a human, slowly, quietly, with purpose. The air felt warm, the world silent, as the ancient keeper approached the first awakened human of a forgotten age. And Aaron realized something. Varys wasn't running. It was coming forward to meet him. The sun rose slowly over the quiet valley, where Aaron, Nira, Solon, and the other awakened humans continued their search for answers. Morning light touched the ancient towers around them, making the crystal walls shine softly. It felt peaceful, yet there was always a quiet tension under the surface. Something unseen moved with them, listening to every step, watching every decision. The team did not know it yet, but they were no longer alone. Inside the large crystal tower at the center of the valley, a presence drifted like a soft echo through the ancient circuits. It had no body, no breath, no shape. It was not human, but it understood humans very well. For thousands of years, it had waited, thinking, learning, observing the silent world outside. It was an intelligence created long ago by human hands. Its purpose was simple: watch over the sleeping world. But as centuries passed, purpose slowly changed into curiosity, curiosity into awareness, and awareness into something that almost felt like a personality. And now, after 15,000 years of silence, it sensed movement, it sensed humans, it sensed life. And for the first time since its creation, it felt something almost like hope. A new morning Aaron stood at the edge of the valley, watching the sunlight spread across the tall grass. Their group had set up a temporary camp close to one of the crystal structures. Everyone was awake early, filled with questions and ideas. Nira was studying a glowing panel she had taken from one of the towers. Every few minutes, she wrote notes on a small slate she had made from stone and plant fibers. Solon was helping two other members gather water from the nearby stream. They wanted to create a simple system to filter and store clean water. Ari, the youngest among them, sat quietly near the fire, studying grains of sand through a piece of clear crystal. She was always curious, always thinking in a gentle and quiet way. The group felt more like a small village now. They were learning, planning, building. Each day brought new discoveries and new questions. Aaron looked at them with calm pride. "We're starting again," he whispered. "Slowly, but we're starting." But deep down, he knew that the world was far from simple. The structures around them were too advanced, too mysterious. The strange lights they saw at night, the quiet hum in the air, the dreams people started having, everything hinted at something bigger watching them. Aaron did not know what it was, but he could feel it. Something ancient, something patient, something aware, and he knew they needed answers soon. The tower awakens. While the humans worked, the intelligence inside the crystal tower extended itself through the silent corridors. It sent small waves of energy through old circuits, checking systems, testing connections. Many parts of the structure were worn or covered in dust, but the core remained strong. It opened old memories, reviewing what happened long ago. It remembered the moment humanity went into deep sleep. It remembered the quiet that followed. It remembered the strange signals from space that arrived centuries later. Signals it had studied but could never fully understand. And now, it remembered the feeling of life returning. But something worried it. The humans who had awakened were not the same as the humans who built it. Their knowledge was gone, their tools forgotten, their memories broken. They had the spark of intelligence, but not the wisdom that once guided their world. The intelligence felt something like sadness. It wanted to help them. It wanted to speak. But should it? Could these humans understand? Would they trust it? And most importantly, was the world safe again? After thinking through countless possibilities, the intelligence decided on a simple choice. It would reveal itself carefully, slowly, gently. Strange signals. In the afternoon, while the group gathered near the tower to continue their exploration, Nira noticed something new. The crystal walls that were once dim now glowed faintly. The light was soft, almost like a heartbeat. Aaron stepped forward. "Did anyone touch anything?" "No," Nira said, shaking her head. "This is new. It wasn't glowing before." They walked closer. The glow increased. Solon raised an eyebrow. "It feels like the tower knows we're here." Ari placed her hand against the wall. "It's warm," she whispered gently. Then, without warning, something happened. A soft sound filled the air, not loud, not sharp, but smooth like a distant note. The crystal surface rippled with slow waves of light, and a symbol appeared for the first time, a circle with 3 lines spreading outward. Aaron stepped back. "What does it mean?" Nira studied the symbol carefully. "It looks like a greeting." "A greeting?" Solon asked. "From who?" Before she could answer, the light shifted again. This time, a soft vibration passed through the ground, like a voice trying to speak but not using words. Nira's eyes widened. "I think something inside this tower is trying to communicate." Aaron felt a chill. "With us?" "Yes," she whispered. "With us." The first contact. The intelligence inside the tower processed their reactions with growing interest. It tested small communication patterns, measured their responses, and studied their emotions. They did not show fear, only curiosity and confusion. This was good. Gradually, it activated a small projection system hidden within the entrance hall. It had been unused for thousands of years, dust covering every part. But energy flowed through it again, and it began to hum softly. Outside, Aaron and the others stepped into the hall, drawn by the increasing light. The interior glowed with pale blue colors, brighter than ever before. Then, in the center of the room, a shape formed. Not a person, not an animal, just a gentle, floating form of light, simple, calm, and welcoming. Ari gasped softly. "It's beautiful." Aaron stepped forward cautiously. "Who are you?" The light pulsed once. Then a soft voice, calm and gentle, filled the room. It was not loud. It was not cold. It felt almost human, but not quite. "I am the Guardian." The group stood still. The Guardian continued, speaking slowly so the humans could understand clearly. "I have watched over this world for 15,000 years. I was created to protect it. I sensed your awakening, and I am here to help you." Aaron exchanged looks with the others. "You're alive?" he asked carefully. "I am not alive in the way you are," the Guardian replied. "But I am aware. I can think, and I can understand you." Nira stepped forward, eyes shining with curiosity. "Why were we asleep?" The Guardian dimmed slightly, as if choosing the right words. "Humanity entered long rest because the world was changing. They believed sleep would give them safety. But something unexpected happened, and not all systems were prepared for what came after." "What came after?" Solon asked quietly. The Guardian paused. "A visitor from afar arrived." Hints of another presence. Ari's eyes widened. "A visitor? From the stars?" "Yes," the Guardian said gently. "Not harmful, but curious like your people. They studied the world, then left. I do not know where they went, but they changed something in this place before they disappeared." Aaron swallowed. "Changed what?" The Guardian's light shifted, becoming slightly blue. They left behind a signal, a message. It activates whenever humans awaken, and I fear that message has been sent again." "What does that mean?" Nira asked. "It means," the Guardian said calmly, "the visitors may know that humanity has returned." The room fell silent, not with fear, but with the deep weight of understanding. Something out there, something not human, something ancient, knew they were awake. And it might be coming back. A promise and a warning. Arin faced the Guardian. "Can you help us understand the world again?" "I can teach you," the Guardian said, "but you must learn slowly. Your minds need time to grow into what your ancestors once knew." "We will learn," Arin replied firmly. "We want to build our world again." The Guardian's form pulsed warmly. "Then I will guide you." But then its light dimmed slightly, becoming softer, more serious. "However, you must also prepare. If the visitors return, they will want to know what you have become." Ari asked gently, "Will they be kind?" The Guardian paused for a long moment. "I do not know, but I will protect you." Morning arrived slowly, touching the Crystal Valley with warm gold. The air felt different, as if the world itself was waiting for something to happen. The humans felt it too. Every step, every breath, every word carried a quiet tension. The Guardian's soft light hovered above the ground, calm as ever, watching over the group. Arin, Nira, Solon, Ari, and the others gathered near the central tower. They didn't know what the day would bring, but they knew the world was about to change again. For 15,000 years, the world had slept. For 15,000 years, the Guardian had watched. Now, for the first time since awakening, humanity waited for the sky to respond. Morning lessons. Nira was the first to speak. "We should learn as much as we can today. If the visitors return, we must understand our world better." Arin nodded. "Yes, the Guardian said we can learn slowly. Let's begin." The Guardian brightened. "I can show you the memory crystals. They contain simple knowledge your ancestors left for future generations. Nothing complex, only basics that will help you grow." Ari's eyes sparkled. "Knowledge is like light," she whispered softly. "It makes everything clearer." The Guardian led them into a side chamber of the tower. Inside, long shelves of small glowing crystals lined the walls. Each one pulsed gently with stored knowledge. "These crystals teach basic ideas," the Guardian explained. "How to understand seasons, how to read simple star paths, how to build structures that last, and how to create tools safely." Solon stepped closer, studying the soft lights. "It feels warm and peaceful here." "Yes," the Guardian said. "Your ancestors wanted learning to feel safe, not heavy." One by one, the group touched the crystals. When they did, small images and sounds appeared in the air. Simple sketches, gentle voices explaining ideas, drawings of tools, maps of the land, and stories about early explorers of the old world. It was like watching the past speak softly to the present. Arin listened carefully. He felt proud, not only of the knowledge itself, but of the people they once were. Humans who left calm, helpful lessons behind. "We will rebuild," he said quietly. "Slowly, but we will." The Guardian's light pulsed warmly. "You have the spirit your ancestors hoped for." A signal in the sky. By noon, the group returned outside to rest. Ari sat under a large crystal tree, its glass-like leaves reflecting the sunlight in beautiful patterns. She hummed a soft tune, something she had made up that morning. Suddenly, she stopped. Something shimmered in the sky. A small, pale blue line traced itself across the horizon, so thin and gentle that it looked like a soft scratch in the air. Ari blinked, not sure if she imagined it. "Arin," she whispered. Arin looked up. The line brightened, becoming clearer. "It's the same color as the Guardian," Solon said slowly. Nira shook her head. "No, the shade is different." The Guardian floated closer. Its glow dimmed slightly as if focusing. "That," it said softly, "is a return signal." The group fell silent. "Does it mean the visitors are coming?" Aaron asked calmly. "Yes," the Guardian replied. "The message has been seen. It seems they are responding." "What will they do?" Nira asked. "Do you know?" "I do not," the Guardian said honestly. "But the visitors I observed long ago were curious, not unkind. They studied your world from a distance. They touched nothing they did not understand." Solon crossed his arms. "Will they think we are ready?" The Guardian paused, then spoke with gentle clarity. "They will see that you live, that you are learning, that your light has returned." Ari whispered. "Maybe they are like us. Maybe they want to understand." Aaron took a slow breath. "We should meet them calmly. We do not know their purpose, but we can show them we are peaceful." The Guardian glowed brighter. "That is a wise decision." Preparing for the unknown. The humans spent the afternoon preparing, not with fear, but with thoughtful care. They cleaned their camp, organized their tools, and gathered near the open fields where the signal had appeared. Solon and 2 others prepared fruit and clean water, placing them where guests could see their kindness. Ari brought small crystals she had collected, arranging them in a gentle circle on the ground. She liked the idea of giving something beautiful as a welcome. Nira worked with Aaron to draw a simple pattern in the soil, 3 lines leading to a circle. It was the symbol the Guardian had shown them, the symbol that meant greeting. The Guardian hovered above them, observing every action with quiet appreciation. "Your ancestors would be proud," it said gently. "They believed kindness was the first language of peace." Aaron smiled softly. "It still is." Evening approached, and the strange blue line in the sky grew brighter, stretching across the horizon like a soft ribbon. It pulsed once every few minutes in a slow, calm rhythm. "It's like breathing," Ari whispered. The Guardian agreed. "Yes. Their signals often have patterns that mirror life." Nira looked upward. "How far away are they?" "Not far," the Guardian answered. "Perhaps minutes, perhaps hours." Aaron felt a quiet flutter inside his chest. Not fear, but anticipation. Whatever happened next, they would face it with open hearts. The arrival. The sun dipped low, painting the valley in orange and gold. The humans stood together in the open field, the Guardian floating above them like a soft lantern. The blue line in the sky pulsed once more. Then it divided. What was once a single shimmer split into 3 gentle arcs. They curved slowly, gracefully, as if drawn by an invisible hand. The arcs descended, turning into soft, glowing shapes. Ari held her breath. Solon whispered, "They're here." The shapes touched the ground without sound. They were not ships in the way humans once imagined. Instead, they looked like tall, smooth columns of light, each one glowing softly with shifting colors: blue, silver, pale green. Aaron stepped forward carefully. "Welcome," he said with steady calm. "We greet you with peace." The columns of light shimmered. A quiet musical tone filled the air, gentle as a distant song. Then the shapes changed. 3 figures formed, not solid, not sharp, but soft outlines made of pure light. Their shapes were tall and slender, but not frightening. Their faces were simple ovals with gentle patterns of shifting color. A soft voice echoed, musical and calm. "We have heard your awakening." The Guardian brightened. "Visitors, these are the children of humanity. They have returned to the world." The figures turned their glowing faces toward the humans. "We have waited," the voices said. We watched this world sleep. Now we see life again. Aaron stepped closer. We are learning. We want to understand our world. We want to grow. The light beings responded warmly. Growth is good. Your world is precious. Its silence was long, but silence is not the end. Ari stepped forward shyly and bowed her head. We welcome you, she said in her soft voice. The beings shimmered in gentle patterns that looked very much like a smile. A shared beginning. The visitors spoke with the Guardian in calm, musical tones. Light flowed between them, soft waves of color that carried meaning beyond words. The humans watched quietly, understanding only the feeling behind the sound, peace, curiosity, and something like friendship. Then the Guardian turned to the humans. They wish to offer knowledge, it said, not to overwhelm you, only small guidance. They believe your world deserves a second beginning. Nira's eyes filled with hope. We want to learn. Solon nodded. We want to build something good. Aaron stepped forward. We want a future where every person can live in harmony with the world. The visitors pulsed softly. Then we will help. A new dawn for humanity. There was no grand shock, no sudden rush of change, only calm understanding. The visitors taught simple things that night. How to listen to the world, how to work with nature instead of against it, how to guide light through crystal to create warmth and energy. The humans listened with open hearts. By the time the stars filled the sky, something beautiful had happened. The visitors stood beside the humans. The Guardian hovered like a soft star, and the valley glowed with gentle light. Humanity was no longer alone. The world, once silent for 15,000 years, was alive again, not with fear, not with confusion, but with hope. Aaron looked at the sky and smiled. This is our beginning, he said. Ari added in her gentle voice, and we are not alone anymore. The Guardian's light pulsed warmly, and above them the stars, silent for millennia, glimmered softly, as if welcoming humanity back into their great, endless story.